with an AEW employee seemingly replaced and more. This is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Mentioning the process of building swagger during her stint on screen in WWE, Torrie Wilson said this on Threads. Summoning that swagger for me was not only difficult when I was wrestling, but even more difficult when I was dancing around in bikinis. And I think there's a misconception, like because I owned it, that I was super comfortable with it, but I wasn't. Like, that was definitely hard. But again, if you walk through anything in life and look like that thing owns you, you're in trouble. At the House of Glory Reckoning event, Lance Anoa'i took on HOG Crown Jewel champion Carlos Ramirez. Revealing the reason for getting a tattoo on the back of his head, Road Dogg noted on his OU Didn't Know podcast, "I did not lose a bet or anything. It's what it is, a cow skull. It's basically a dream catcher on the back of my head, and it's like a cow skull with some feathers hanging off of them. So yeah, I thought it was like a dream catcher. And look, I went to the tattoo studio because the tattooist was also my weed guy. It didn't hurt as bad as he broke like 4 tattoo needles doing it. And like, I would just hear it go, what was that? Nothing. I'm just gonna change the needle real quick. And so yeah, I don't know if it was my hard head or him pressing hard or whatever." Taking to Instagram, The Rock would take another shot not only at Cody Rhodes, but the American Nightmare's dog.
Live Free Train Hard, it's one of my favorites. Not that one. Rock. All good choices. How do I decide? Blood, Sweat, Respect. Good one. There's my classic. People's Champ, The Rock. Now, what else do we have to... Oh. What's this? Hey, Rock. My fans are not bang! Shut up. You're all crybabies. Right across the face. It's back here. That's The Rock's bowl with his tattoo. Very meaningful symbols. All right. Well, I found my motivation. All right, baby. Let's do this. Daddy's got to go to work.
Naming an opponent he is interested in defending his IWGP Global Championship against, Nick Nemeth told Monopoly Events, Will Ospreay. I go, oh, he can do anything in the freaking world. So to have a chance to be able to defend this title and having it mean more, I think the story matters more, so I know Ospreay's freaking awesome. I love that. If there's some story of like, I need to test myself, and at that point, I've gone around the world and tested myself, I go, I haven't been in the ring with you. Maybe this is how it goes down. That would be cool as hell. But first things first, I want to defend this every possible chance I get against some of the best in the world and let everybody know that not only am I the champ, I'm representing it properly every weekend. Prior to his retirement bout at AEW Revolution, Sting was asked about any singles matches he wished he could have had in AEW, as he told PWI. A lot of wrestling fans thought for sure that Darby was going to turn on me, or that I was going to turn on him. But you know, I would have loved to have had a match against Kenny Omega. Kenny is legitimate world champ material. Obviously, he's been AEW world champ, but to me, sometimes how good he is goes underappreciated because he's never been with WWE. Some people think he doesn't deserve his accolades. but he is one of the best all-around world heavyweight champions I've ever seen, one of the best in the wrestling industry. Going over a possible retirement match scenario, Trish Stratus had this to say to Gorilla Position. You're asking me to book my own stuff right now. There's this thing about, like, what if you put it out there? You know how sometimes you're not supposed to talk about things, you don't jinx it? Oh gosh, I don't know. Look, I've had my fun in Canada. I've had my hometown fun in Canada for sure. Would I welcome another match in Toronto? Absolutely. For like perhaps the final one? Yeah. We had a retirement match. Is this the post-retirement match? Maybe in Toronto. I mean, it is coming up. Toronto is coming up. I mean, hey, could I become an 8-time champion? It's another thing to put on. I don't know. Maybe. Do I have an unfinished story with Zoe Stark? I sure do. So there's a lot of things. There's a lot of talent that I look at too that I'm like, I would love to get in the ring with, let's say, Rhea Ripley, for example. So people, when they meet me, they're like, oh my God, you're so small. This is part of my thing, right? I'm just little Trish Stratus, but you know, when we saw that match with Raquel Rodriguez, that's what I love. I love playing up to that, right? I love playing against the big wrestler, and that's kind of fun for me. So that's something me and Jazz had, me and Victoria had, and so I think me and Rhea Ripley could be a very interesting story, so I'm just putting it out there. I don't know the answer, but it's funny. When I meet fans, they're like, could you come back? You know what I always do? I turn over to them, I go, who do you want to see me face? With her now a free agent in pro wrestling, former NWA champion KAMILLE said this to Steve, Fall of Wrestling News. My last match was the end of November, and I knew I was going to take all the December off because I knew what was to come. And I was like, I'm getting myself December. Once January started, January 1st, I was a free agent. It was funny. Of course, I have confidence in myself, and I know that I did a wonderful job at NWA as champion. But as you talked about before, not a whole bunch of buzz around the NWA. But I knew my time was done there. I had no idea what to expect in free agency. I really didn't. And so when January 1st hit, things got crazy. And in the best of ways, right? I was just excited, you know, if people were interested. And then I found out that lots of people were interested. I like to really think about things and weigh out pros and cons. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to get myself all of January to really make the best decision for not only myself, I'm a married woman, right? I have like my family. And so just make the right decision for everything. And yeah, then when February came, I said, all right, time to make a decision. And as I said in my YouTube video, if you guys watch it, it's at Camille Brickhouse. I'm releasing videos every Wednesday. Just honestly, just something fun to do. I started doing YouTube over COVID. Never say never is great in professional wrestling. I mean, look at CM Punk going back to WWE. Literally, never say never. Once again, I just appreciated so much that he's even taking the time out to look at my work, to enjoy my matches, watch my promos, stuff like that. I mean, you know, I had conversations with Shawn Michaels, and I had no clue that Shawn Michaels had any idea who in the world Camille was, and found out he was a big fan. Stuff like that blew my mind. And it was super humbling and amazing. And yeah, to hear Tony Khan have such nice feedback when you asked him the question the other day was really refreshing. When it comes to the future of Will Ospreay in All Elite Wrestling, Andrew Zarian noted on the Mat Men podcast they have great plans for Ospreay. Every conversation I've had with anybody in that company, it is very evident who their future is. Will Ospreay. Takeshita obviously is in that mix. Swerve Strickland, Hangman Page, Daniel Garcia, Orange Cassidy, obviously Okada. These are guys they put great emphasis on in that next generation of talent. In an exchange on X, pro wrestling commentator Kevin Kelly would accuse fellow commentator Ian Riccaboni of libel. As a user said this to Kelly, I have always appreciated the links you go to give a history and background of a match. Why are these two fighting? I feel sometimes that is lost by some of your brethren. You literally got me into New Japan because you took the time to set up matches for someone who was new, Kelly responded. I do the same thing in AEW because it's critical to explain the why, but the idea of what I bring to the table is lost there because Ian libeled me, so I sit on the bench valued by my peers waiting to get my number called. I keep asking why but get pushed aside. It's okay because there is no one better than me. Ask the ones that know and they'll tell you. Another user said, Kevin, a lot of things about how you handle this are baffling, but the most annoying is that you haven't said which of Ian's comments are libel. Can you at least clarify that? Because the ones I saw all pertain to statements you've made publicly, all which can be verified. Kelly replied, when you go out of your way to intentionally mischaracterize my raising awareness of the global horrors of child trafficking to a fringe conspiracy theory that everyone knows is BS in order to hurt my career and standing in the industry, that at the very least is libelous. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.